Hey everyone, Graph Paper Architect here. Thought I would talk to you a little bit about those 7 deadly sins I was going over for monster motivation. The first one that I had on there, I think, was wrath. And wrath is a beautiful sin. Just wonderful. You could have it start with just a little seed of niggling hatred where someone just is irritated by someone and they want to get at them and do mean things to them or hire someone to do mean things to them, all the way up to just complete kill on sight. Just nope, they don't even think about it. They see an orc, they pick up the sword, murder the orc. That's it. Or the orc murders the human. Just no thought, pure rage, unbridled wrath. So in that spectrum, there's so many different ways that you could show wrath and have somebody be really angry or really resentful and just, yeah, it's a beautiful sin, I think, and pretty easy to use. One of course, the classic stories is having the monsters come through and they rampage the town, kill everyone, and that generates all the wrath that the player characters need then, of course, to go and take revenge on the monsters, or maybe that's part of a character's backstory. Everybody gets killed by orcs, and so they grow up and they have plenty of wrath to go out and become an adventurer and go after those things. It's an interesting way to think about it. I think that let's say that you have even a paladin, and this paladin, noble, shining armor, paragon of goodness and good example for the whole community, and yet they produce some pretty violent things. I think paladins do, actually. And it's like, where does that come from? Now there's righteous fury, righteousness. I will destroy the monsters in the name of my God that is righteous. You sure it's not just wrath? Maybe you're just kind of pissed off at those monsters. It's an interesting thought, something to think about. And so I think that having that be part of what's going on in your motivation for your characters, for your monsters, for your NPCs, it's just beautiful. Of course, it starts the combat. That's where you cross that threshold of wrath, is when you get to where negotiations break down, or they've already always decided that they were going to fight you. They were just biding their time and having a conversation, waiting for their allies to show up. Something's going on, but they were going to kill you from the moment that they saw you. So that wrath was already there. How are they concealing that wrath? Can you detect it? Can you hear it in their voice as they're talking to you about, whatever it is that they're having a discussion to sort of keep you there until their buddy can get behind you, stab you in the back. And I just wanted to drop a couple thoughts on you about these 7 deadly sins, the monster motivations and character motivations. Sometimes I even like to think about myself when I'm creating these things. I wonder, do I have wrath? What do I have wrath for? If I can't imagine what I'm wrathful about, in real life with myself, it makes it a little difficult sometimes when I'm writing a character, because I want to think about, why are they wrath? Why do they hate? Why do they want to kill somebody else? That's pretty powerful hate. That's, I think, when you get out to the extreme edge of that spectrum, you're out on the other side of the bell curve, out there in the wilderness, when you get to the point where you are going to take physical action to harm another person. That's as far as I think wrath gets, and you got to kind of know why, back to the W's, right? Why do they feel that way? Why are they doing that? So you can look in the mirror, think, do I feel wrath? Am I really at that stage? Maybe I'm just frustrated or hangry or, grumpy, or I haven't had coffee. And that's wrath. Right there, I think, if you haven't had coffee, you're already at wrath. Just have the coffee so you won't get there, please. That's me. I do that. So anyhow, just thought I would drop some of that on you tonight, and have fun with it, play with it, enjoy it. Think about ways that someone can go from just kind of sort of pissed off to murder in the streets. It's a wonderful sin to play with. So hope you enjoyed this little taste of my thoughts on Wrath. And until next time, friends, good journey.